So everyone can see we have our special guest here from South America, well, South Mexico, Srila Bhakti Ashram Maharaj, the Acharya for Latin America, and he is visiting us here in Soquel. He came for our festivals here of Kartik, and we're very happy to have him. You can see here his divine presence. And now we'll go to continue with our Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. No puedes apretar eso. No, eso está nivelado por eso. No, yeah, eso. Mejor? Okay. We also have with us Jivana, and we have Jivana and she brought Braja Mohini. Jivana brought Braja Mohini all the way from Salt Lake City. And then we also have Bimala, who came all the way from Brazil. And we have Madhav Maharaj, who stays here now. Formerly he was stationed at work in Washington, D.C. and, well, Virginia, nearby. Now he's here. So now I'll start with the Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Om Jnanatimiranda Shaga. No, Bandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parapari. Bandeham Shri Guru Shriyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shirubam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timiranda Shagyana Shana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shirupa Patanugam Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwa Gurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premno Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Sutrandabananam Balarka Shelanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Vanditam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Vanshakopatarubyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Bradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. And this is Madhya-lila Chapter 4, Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. And I'll start with verse number 124. 124. Premamrite tripta kuda Trishna nahibare Kira icha hoilatahe mane aparade. A Paramahamsa like Madhavendra Puri is always satisfied in the loving service of the Lord. Material hunger and thirst cannot impede his activities. When he desired to taste a little kheer, condensed milk, offered to the deity, he considered that he had committed an offense by desiring to eat what was being offered to the deity. Gramera shunya hate basi koren kirtan eta pujare karaila takore shayan. Madhavendra Puri left the temple and sat down in the village marketplace, which was vacant because it was nighttime. Sitting there, he began to chant. In the meantime, the temple priest laid the deity down to rest. So remember, Madhavendra Puri is traveling through Remuna, which is in Orissa. He's going to Jagannath Puri because after he had, found the deity, had a dream where the deity of Gopal revealed himself to Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri went and they found that deity had been hidden in a bush because the priest had taken the deity because there was some rumors that the Turks were attacking. So the deity was hidden in the bush but was there for some time. And then the deity in a dream revealed who Madhavendra Puri, where he was. And Madhavendra Puri took all the townspeople. They brought the deity and they put the deity on. The deity is Govardhan Dari, is the holder of the Govardhan Hill, that deity. So he put the deity was put on top of Govardhan and a temporary temple was made there. And they did Anukut, and they also did bathing of the deity, and the deity, eventually a temple was made there. But then after some time, the deity revealed in another dream that all the time he was just without any home. The deity, his body had become so hot, and he said, I need Malaya sandalwood to cool me down. So then Madhavendra Puri immediately started for South India. Well, he's going to Jagannath Puri to get some sandalwood for the deity of Gopal. But when he arrived in Remuna, there's a deity of Gopinath is in Remuna, and that deity, and then Madhavendra Puri saw that they were offering kheer to the deity of Gopinath, and he was desirous of tasting the kheer, so that he thought, this is a very nice preparation, I'm told, and I can offer this to Gopal. But then at that time they were offering kheer, which, as I said, is condensed milk. They were offering that to Gopinath, and then Madhavendra Puri, he never begged for anything. If somebody gave him something to eat, he would eat, otherwise he would fast. But he felt guilty for desiring to taste what the deity was being offered at that time. So he then left the temple and he went to the vacant marketplace to sit down there and just chant. So now, here it says, Nija Kritya Kore Pujari Kore Lashayan Swapne Takura Ashi Bolila Bachan. Finishing his daily duties, the priest of Gopinath, went to take rest. In a dream, he saw the Gopinath deity come to talk to him, and he spoke as follows. So the deity of Gopinath is now talking to the pujari in the dream. One time Ramai, he told me, he said, I had the most wonderful dream. And I said, what did you dream about? And he said, I dreamed I was worshiping the deity. That's what he did all the time. That was his most wonderful dream. Okay. Utaha pujari kora dwara vimochan kira egg rakijachi sannyasi karan. O priest, O pujari, please get up and open the door of the temple. I have kept one pot of kheer for the sannyasi Madhavendra Puri. Dadara Anshale Daka Ekira Hoy Tomarana Janilataha Amare Amaramayai. This pot of kheer is just beneath my cloth curtain. You did not see it because of my tricks. Madhavendra Puri Sannyasi Ache Hatete Basinya Dahake Ta Ekira Shigra Deholoya. A sannyasi named Madhavendra Puri is sitting in the vacant marketplace. Please take this pot of kheer from behind me and deliver it to him. Swapnadeki Pujari Utik Korila Vichar Snanakore Kapata Kuli Mukta Koila Dwar. Awakening from the dream, the priest immediately rose from bed and thought it wise to take a bath before entering the deity's room. He then opened the temple door. Dadara Anchala Tale Paila Sekir Stana Lepi Kira Loya Hoila Bahir. According to the deity's directions, the priest found the pot of kheer behind the cloth curtain. He removed the pot and mopped up the place where it had been kept. He then went out of the temple. Dwara diya grame gela se kira loya hate bule Madhava Puri ke chahiya. Closing the door of the temple, he went to the village with the pot of kheer. He called out in every stall in search of Madhavendra Puri. Kiraloha ejara nama Madhava Puri Tomalage Gopinatha Kira Koila Churi. Holding the pot of kheer, the priest called, "Will he whose name is Madhavendra Puri please come and take this pot? Gopinath has stolen this pot of kheer for you." Okay. Kiraloya suke tumi koraha bakane tomasama bhagyavan nahi tribhuvane. The priest continued, "With the sannyasi whose name is Madhavendra Puri, please come and take the pot of please come and take the pot of kheer and enjoy the prasadam with great happiness. You are the most fortunate person within the three worlds." Ekshuni Puri Gosai Parichai Kiradiya Pujari Tare Dundavat Hoila. Hearing this invitation, Madhavendra Puri came and identified himself. The priest then delivered the pot of kheer and offered his objections, falling flat before him. So kheer is made by cooking down milk, and it's mixed with some spices like cardamom and maybe some other, maybe nutmeg or something like that, and it becomes cooked down like not as much as burfi. Burfi's hard, but more hard. But kheer is like still liquid. It's like condensed milk. So, hearing the invitation, Madhavendra Puri came out and identified himself. The priest then delivered the pot of kheer and offered his obeisance, falling flat before him. Okay. Etashuni Puri Gosai Parichai Dila Kiradiya Pujari Tari Randavat Hoila Kirer Pritanta Tare Kahila Pujari Shuni Primabishta Hoila Sri Madhava Puri. When the story about the pot of kheer was explained to him in detail, Sri Madhavendra Puri at once became absorbed in an ecstatic love of Krishna. Premadeki Sevaka Kohe Hoya Vishmita Krishna Che Ihara Masa Hoy Jatochita. Upon seeing the ecstatic loving symptoms manifest in Srila Madhavendra Puri, the priest was struck with wonder. He could understand why Krishna had become so much obliged to him, and he saw that Krishna's action was befitting. Etabole Namaskori Korila Gaman Aveshe Korila Puri Sekira Bakan. The priest offered his obeisances to Madhavendra Puri, returned to the temple. Then in ecstasy, Madhavendra Puri ate the kheer offered to him by Krishna. So he's given a little clay pot with the kheer in it. Patra prakalana kori kanda kanda koila bashir bashe bandi se tikare rokila. After this, Madhavendra Puri washed the pot and broke it into pieces. He then bound all the pieces in his outer cloth and kept them nicely. Broke the clay pot into pieces after he cleaned it. Pratidin ekane korana bakan koile premavesha hoy adbhuta katan. Each day Madhavendra Puri would eat one piece of that earthen pot, and after eating it he would immediately be overwhelmed with ecstasy. These are wonderful stories. Thakur more kira dila loka sabo shuni dine lok bida habe mora pratishta jani. Having broken the pot and bound the pieces in his cloth, Madhavendra Puri began to think, the Lord has given me a pot of kheer, and when the people hear of this tomorrow morning, there will be great crowds. Se baye ratri se she bas shalila Shri Puri se kane Gopinatha dandavat kori. Thinking this, Sri Madhavendra Puri offered his obeisances to Gopinath on the spot and left for Remuna before morning. So Madhavendra Puri thought, when people hear about this, people will want to give me so much pratishta, so much fame and respect, and this is not tolerable by me. So before the morning, he left Remuna on his way to Jagannath Puri. Chali Chali Aila Puri Sri Nilachala Jagannath Deki Hoila Premete Vivala. Walking and walking, Madhavendra Puri finally reached Jagannath Puri, which is also known as Nilachala. There he saw Lord Jagannath and was overwhelmed with loving ecstasy. So this is a nice thing. We do that in English too, but the way the Bengali is constructed is chali chali, means walking and walking, like, thinking and thinking, seeing and seeing, like, so chali chali. Prema veshe ute pare hase nache gai Jagannath darshane moha sukha pai. Prema veshe ute pare hase nache gai Jagannath darshane moha sukha pai. When Madhavendra Puri was overwhelmed in ecstasy of love of God, he sometimes stood up and sometimes fell to the ground. Sometimes he laughed, danced, and sang. In this way, he was overwhelmed by transcendental happiness or transcendental bliss by seeing the Jagannath deity. Madhava Puri Sripad Aila Loke Hoila Kyati Sabalok Asitare Kore Bahu Bhakti. When Madhavendra Puri came to Jagannath Puri, people were aware of his transcendental reputation. Therefore, crowds of people came and offered him all sorts of respect and devotion. So here we'll hear an explanation of how Madhavendra Puri was so famous. He had just arrived in Puri and already people knew of him. So how is that possible? Pratishtara swabhava e jagate vidita jena banache taro hoy vidut vidata nirmita. Even though one may not like it, reputation as ordained by providence comes to him. Instead, one transcendental reputation is known throughout the entire world. So he was walking, he's walking and walking to get away from this pratishta, get away from this fame. But the fame was traveling faster than him. Pratishta Rabaye Puri Gela Balaya Krishna Preme Pratishta Chale Sange Ganaya Being afraid of his pratishta, of his reputation, Madhavendra Puri fled from Remuna. But the reputation brought by love of God, it is so sublime that it goes along with the devotee as if following him. Jajapi udvega hoila palaite man takorer chandana saran hoila bandan. Madhavendra Puri wanted to leave Jagannath Puri because the people were honoring him as a great devotee. However, this threatened to hinder his collecting sandalwood for the Gopal deity. So he wanted to, when people were giving him so much respect, he wanted to immediately leave. That was not digestible by him. But he thought, if I leave, how can I leave? I haven't got the sandalwood yet for Gopal. Gopal sent me here to get sandalwood. So even though I don't like all this pratishta, I have to stay to get the sandalwood. Jagannath Seva Chata Jatika Mahanta Savake Kohila Puri Gopala Ritanta. Madhavendra Puri told all the servants of Lord Jagannath and all the great devotees the story of the appearance of Sri Gopal. Gopala Chandana Mage Shuni Bhaktagan Anande Chandana Lagi Korila Jatan. When all the devotees at Jagannath Puri heard that the Gopal deity wanted sandalwood, in great pleasure they all endeavored to collect it. Rajapatra Sane Jara Jara Parichai Tare Magi Karpura Chandana Korila Sanchai. Those who were acquainted with the government officers met with them and begged for camphor and sandalwood, which they collected. Those who were acquainted with the government officers met with them and begged for camphor and sandalwood, which they collected. So this camphor and sandalwood is to offer to the deity of Gopal. Ek vipra ek sevak chandana mahite puri gosar sange dila sambala sahite. One Brahmin and one servant were given to Madhavendra Puri just to carry the sandalwood. He was also given the necessary traveling expenses. And the sandalwood is a controlled item. It's like for the deity, so you have to have special paper and permission and taxes and everything to take this sandalwood, which all this was given to Madhavendra Puri. Gati Dani Chadaite Rajapatra Dware Rajaleka Kore Dila Puri Gosar Kore. To get past the toll collectors along the way, Madhavendra Puri was supplied with the necessary release papers from government officers. The papers were placed in his hand to show all these places that he was in legal possession of the sandalwood, and they had papers that he could export the sandalwood out of Jagannath Puri. Chalila Madhava Puri Chandana Loya Katadine Remunate Utari Lagia. In this way, Madhavendra Puri started for Vrindavan with the burden of sandalwood, and after some days he again reached the village of Remuna and the Gopinath temple there. Gopinath Charane Koila Bahu Namaskar Premaveshe Nritya Gita Korila Apar. When Madhavendra Puri reached the temple of Gopinath, he offered his respectful obeisances many times at the lotus feet of the Lord. In the ecstasy of love, he began to dance and sing without cessation. Purideki Sevakasab Samana Korila Kira Prasad Diyatare Bhikka Koraila. When the priest of Gopinath saw Madhavendra Puri again, he offered all respect to him, and giving him the Kira Prasada made him eat. Sevratre Devaloye Korila Shayan Sesharatre Hoile Puri Dekila Swapan. Madhavendra Puri took rest that night in the temple, but toward the end of the night he had another dream. So he's already had dreams where Gopal appeared to him and told him where he had been hidden, and so that he could be taken out of that bush and taken on top of the hill. So that was the first dream. Then Madhavendra Puri had another dream when Gopal told him, I need sandalwood to cool my body down because my body was burning in the summer for so long, and I need. And then Madhavendra Puri went to Jagannath Puri to get that sandalwood. And now, when he gets to Remuna, back with all the sandalwood and camphor, he has another dream. This time, Gopala siya kohe shuna e madhava karpura chandanami pailama sabha. So the deity says to the deity, Gopal appears to Madhavendra Puri, and he says, Madhavendra Puri dreamed that Gopal came before him and said, "Oh, Madhavendra Puri." But in this dream, in the Bengali, it doesn't say Madhavendra Puri. He says, Gopal asiya kohe shuna he Madhava. Listen, Madhava. Listen, Madhava. That's Madhavendra Puri. Listen, Madhava. I have already received all the sandalwood and camphor. Oh, Madhavendra Puri. I have already received all the sandalwood and camphor. Now, the deity of Gopal is calling him Madhava. Madhava. Karpura Sahita Gasi Esab Chandan Gopinath there Angenitya Koraha Lebana. Now just grind all the sandalwood together with the camphor, and then smear the body, and then smear the pulp on the body of Gopinath daily until it is finished. You don't have to bring all this to Vrindavan. Smear it on Gopinath. Gopinath amara ek angahoy ihake chandana dile ave mora tapakoy. There is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. They are one and the same. Therefore, if you smear the sandalwood pulp on the body of Gopinath, you will naturally also smear it on my body. Thus the temperature of my body will be reduced. Dvidana bhavihana korya kichumane vishvasa kore chandana deho amarabachane. You should not hesitate to act according to my order. Believing in me, just do what is needed. So don't worry about this. You don't have, just trust my words and do this. Eta boli gopal gela gosai jagila gopinath there sevakane dekiya anila. So he says, you should not hesitate to act according to my order. Believing in me, just do what is needed. After giving these instructions, Gopal disappeared, and Srila Madhavendra Puri awoke. He immediately called for all the servants of Gopinath, and they came before him. Prabhuragya hoila ekarpura chandan Gopinath there angenitya koraha lepana. Madhavendra Puri said, smear the body of Gopinath with this camphor and sandalwood I have brought for Gopal and Vrindavan. Do this regularly every day. Ihake chandana dile Gopala hoile hoibe sita swatantra Ishwara tara agyase prabal. If the sandalwood pulp is smeared over the body of Gopinath, then Gopal will be cooled. After all, the Supreme Personality of God is completely independent. His order is all-powerful. Grishma kale Gopinatha parive chandan shunyanandito hoila sevakeraman. The servants of Gopinath became very pleased to hear that in the summer all the sandalwood pulp would be used to anoint the body of Gopinath. Puriko he e dui gosive chandan arajana dui deho diva e diva jeva betan. Madhavendra Puri said, these two assistants will regularly grind the sandalwood, and you should also get two other people to help. I shall pay their salaries. So to make that much sandalwood, they're going to have to be rubbing the sandalwood against a stone for to make it turn all into pulp. So that will take some time. So Madhavendra Puri says, these two assistants that are helping, I guess, carry the sandalwood, they'll help grind it up, and you can get two more people to help. I shall pay their salaries, because he has some money for the tolls and everything. Emata Chandandeya Pratyaha Gashiya Paraya Sevaka Saba Ananda Korea. So all the priests of Gopinath, they're very happy to hear this instruction. Oh, we're going to be rubbing all this sandalwood to make sandalwood paste mixed with cardboard, put on the deity every day till all the sandalwood is gone. And then the pujaris of Gopinath are thinking, what could be better than this? This is wonderful. So, in this way, a Mata Chandanadeya Pratyaha Gashiya Raya Sevaka Sab Ananda Korea. In this way, Gopinathji was supplied ground sandalwood pulp daily. The servants of Gopinath were very pleased with this. Pratyaha Chandana Parai Yavad Hoila Anta Tataya Rohila Puri Tavat Paryanta. So sandalwood is cooling, and this is Remuna in Orissa. So I know when we went Rath Yatra time at Puri, we're there for the Rath Yatra. Always, it's a very hot climate. It's a very hot climate. So if you can put sandalwood on the deity to cool the deity down, then that is very, very nice. Because sandalwood is cooling. Prabhupada, he used to take oil massages, but he would take oil massages on his body because oil is heating, and that's good for massage. But he would use mustard oil, but he wouldn't put mustard oil on his head, because on your head you want something cooling. Yeah. Otherwise you become like me, very hot-headed. So, but you want something like sandalwood on your head. That's cooling. Or there are some oils that are cooling, like I'm not sure, but coconut oil is cooling. That's why in India people use coconut oil on their head or on their hair. Emata Chandanadeya Pratyaha Gashiya Paraya Sevak Sab Ananda Korea. In this way, Gopinath was supplied ground sandalwood pulp daily. The servants of Gopinath were very pleased with this. Pratyaha Chandana Parai Javad Oila Anta Tataya Rohila Puri Tavat Paryanta. In this way, the sandalwood pulp was smeared over the body of Gopinath until the whole stock was finished. Madhavendra Puri stayed there until that time. He didn't go. Krishna Kala Ante Puna Nila Chali Gela Nila Chale Chatur Masha Nande Rohila. At the end of summer, Madhavendra Puri returned to Jagannath Puri, where he remained with great pleasure during the whole period of Chaturmasya. Sri Mukhe Madhava Puri Amrita Charita Bhaktagani Shunaya Prabhu Gauriyashvadita. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally praised the nectarian characteristics of Madhavendra Puri, and while he related all this to the devotees, he personally relished it. Prabhu Kohe Nityananda Koraha Vichar Puri Samana Bhagyavan Jagate Nahiyar. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda Prabhu to judge whether there was anyone within the world as fortunate as Madhavendra Puri. Dugdadana Chale Krishna Charid Dekadila Teen Bare Swapni Ashe Jari Agya Koila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Madhavendra Puri was so fortunate that Krishna personally appeared before him on the plea of delivering milk. Three times the Lord gave orders to Madhavendra Puri. So, delivering milk was the first time that Gopal came to see Madhavendra Puri. He came as a cowherd boy to give him some milk. Madhavendra Puri was in Vrindavan and he was fasting. So Gopal came as, Krishna came as a cowherd boy and gave Madhavendra Puri some milk to drink. So Madhavendra Puri was so fortunate that Krishna personally appeared before him on the plea of delivering milk. Krishna personally came, not just in dreams. He came personally to bring milk. Three times the Lord gave orders to Madhavendra Puri in dreams. So once he came before Madhavendra Puri and gave him milk, and then three times he appeared in dreams. Jara premi basha hoya, prakata hoila, seva angikara kore, jagata tarila. Being obliged by the loving affairs of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Krishna himself appeared as the Gopal deity, and accepting his service, he liberated the whole world. So I think I'll finish tomorrow. I'll finish the chapter tomorrow, because we still have some verses left. And
how many?
About 175 to 213. About 40 more verses.
That's about.
Yeah. So I'll read those verses all together tomorrow. Just see. So I'll just.
So we stop in which verse, Maharaj?
Well, I'll read a few verses and then we'll stop. Jara lagi Gopinath kira koila churi ateva nama hoila kira chori kori. On account of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Gopinath stole the pot of kir. Thus he became famous as Kir Chora, the thief who stole the kir. Kir Chora. Thief who stole the Karpura Chandana Jara Age Charaila Anande Puri Gosaira Prema Utalila. Madhavendra Puri smeared the sandalwood pulp over the body of Gopinath, and in this way he was overpowered with love of Godhead. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stop, because tomorrow we're going to hear. And this Govindamars explained how this smearing of sandalwood on the deity of Gopinath can also serve as a metaphor for for Madhavendra Puri, because at the end of his life, he was reciting one verse over and over and over again. I'll say what that verse is. And then Govinda Maharaj said, the verse, he kept on repeating this verse over and over again, but just like you rub sandalwood and it becomes sweeter the more you rub it, so this verse became more and more sweet the more Madhavendra Puri repeated it. And Govinda Maharaj said that whole example of rubbing sandalwood and putting on the deed also serves as an indication of this beautiful verse which Madhavendra Puri was repeating at the end of his life. Aidina dayadra nata he, matura nata katavalokyase, hridayam twad aloka kataram, daita brahmyati kim karomyaham. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what should I do now? And that's an expression of Srimati Radharani after Krishna left Vrindavan. And said only 3 persons could taste that. Three persons are Madhavendra Puri, Srimati Radharani, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No 4th person. So tomorrow we'll hear about that. Very beautiful. So something to tune into tomorrow. Okay? And now I sing Hari Harai. You can play those kartos. And I'll sing. No, don't bring them over here. Let Ashram Maharaj play them. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama
Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan
Jai Gosai Gauri Charana Bandhan
Jai Te Vignana Shabisa Puran
Yahote Vignana Savishna Puran
Jai Gosai Jar Mui Karadan
Jai Gosai Jai Mui Charana
Kasabar Padarenu Mora Panchagram
Dasavara Para Renu Mora Panchagram
Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas
Jare Rachana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas
Janame Janame More Abhilas
Janame Janame More Abhilas
Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas
Jai Gosai Jare Braje Koilabas
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakam
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakam
Anande Balo Hari Bhajan Bhavan
Anande Bolo Hari Bhajan
Aman. Sri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan. Hare Nam Sankirtana Kohe Naratam Mudan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Juki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neriya Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashta Tara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Nirmamacharya Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashta Tara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashta Tara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dash Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishwavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Sri Narrated Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Vishwavaranya Srila what did I just say? Sri Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Vishwavaranya, say, okay. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Sri Premsigo Shri Krishna. I lost my train of thought, but okay, I'll just go back to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram ki jai. Ganga Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai. Shri Purushottam Dham ki jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju ki jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsinga Dev ki jai. Bhakta Prabhata Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Kartik Vrata ki jai. Shri Damodar Vrata ki jai. Shri Niyama Seva ki jai. Shri Urja Vrata ki jai. Srila Ashram Maharaj ki jai. Srila Sripad Bhakti Raman Madhav Maharaj ki jai. Jivan Aditi ki jai. And Bimala Aditi ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Gaur Premanande Hari. Oh, Braja Mohini ki jai tambi also.